What are you doing?
How's it say? I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
What? You ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Just kidding. Welcome to Hot Marriage, Cool Parents with Doug and Jamie.
He's full of jokes today. So today we're recording on a day that is, I guess it's kind of...
Just another day?
No. Well, I mean, I guess it is just another day. But what I mean though is this month we really thought that we were going to be pregnant. Because,
yeah, we really tried this month.
I mean, we tried harder than we have. We were able to try harder because we were at a hotel room, and so there's no interruptions, and you can, you have no distractions, and you just can execute significantly more.
You know what I think our challenges are at home is we put the kids to bed, and they get to bed before 9. And then after 9, that is really our time to sometimes decompress, but it's also time to get the work that we couldn't get done before dinner after. And then by the time we're done with that, it's like 10:30, 11 o'clock, and neither of us want to do anything.
Yeah.
But I think we have to make a conscious effort this next month to really go balls to the wall, like pregnancy watch.
Yeah, no pun intended. Geez, Doug. No, I mean, I think so too. And honestly, I really thought, I have changed my diet. I'm not always perfect about it, but I really don't eat gluten. I started eating dairy again just because I'm like, well, what's the point? It's not working anyways. But I really don't eat the gluten because a lot of doctors have told me that it's not good for my hypothyroidism and with fertility.
Plus before, with both with Henley and Hendrix, as soon as you changed your diet or as soon as you made changes, you got pregnant.
And in the pregnancy stayed. So whereas I could get pregnant before, but it's I would lose the pregnancy. And so when
your whole family is very fertile. Your sisters pump out babies like no other.
Douglas, oh my gosh.
I'm just saying.
That's what they say about themselves. It is true. But anyways, so a little disheartening because I got my period today, and I did take a pregnancy test because I was like, oh, this is the month. We were in Nashville for the Family Mate event, and we're able to, and that's when I was very fertile, and we were able to just, go at it. And then even after you're fertile, even before you're fertile, as long as you want to try to do it as much as you can, of course. And so then we were in Los Angeles to film for Married at First Sight, and we went at it, and, so I was like, oh, this is the month.
We went at it.
And then, and
we attacked each other.
And then it was I do the due date calculator and all that online just to see what would the due date be. And so
something that we didn't do though was hold your legs up.
Yeah, we did do that with Henley and Hendrix.
So we
for some reason I feel like I shouldn't.
Maybe we do that in
well, I have a whole list. So, I'm I always say I'm so thankful for my community of girlfriends, all you best friends who are listening, and I'm just genuinely so thankful for you because a lot of you have reached out to share different things that you've done. And this is the thing, a lot of people are like, well, why aren't you just doing IVF? Well, first of all, IVF is super invasive. It's very stressful. It's very time consuming. And it's very expensive.
Super expensive.
Our insurance doesn't cover IVF. And so a lot of people are just like, why don't you just do IUI? Why don't you just do IVF? Why don't you just do all? And it's like, okay, well, because I would like to try to do it myself, A, but B, because I feel like I can, but also it's expensive. It's really, really pricey. And it's an emotional toll to try to that's a whole full-time job. God bless everybody who has done IVF or who has been going through it because it's not as easy as just oh, why don't you just go do IVF?
Yeah. Well, so, I think a big driving force for the decision or the kind of standoff to not do IVF is we've gone to the fertility specialist. We've both gotten tested. I went and gave 2 semen analyses. He did
kind of recommend it.
He did, but I think I genuinely feel like that was almost like his sales pitch because He didn't say that we couldn't get pregnant.
No, he
naturally.
didn't. He said I have
You
a
know?
low to normal AMH,
Right.
which is against me.
He didn't rule it out. He
He
didn't
said
even
I
say
had a
that
blocked
it's
fallopian tube.
He didn't say that it's going to be extremely difficult if you don't do IVF. He didn't say those words.
No, he didn't say those words. So I have a low to normal AMH. I have a blocked fallopian tube. I have MTHFR. I have a lot of things against me. And so then he said, in my age, of course, I'm going to be 38 in the summer. So that's when he was like, these are the reasons that I think, and he doesn't even, and he actually, and I said, why IVF? Because he didn't even really recommend IUI. I said, what about like Clomid or like, and he was like, he just really seems to think that IVF is the route to go because, oh boy, the kids are supposed to be going to sleep with the babysitter and I can hear Hendrix crying.
I know.
I just want to go give him a hug.
No, we gotta get through this. But something that I learned at the fertility specialist was that with your fallopian tubes, that's where the eggs go through, right?
Yes, Douglas.
And so there's no way to predict which side your eggs are going to come from.
Yes, that's true.
So I think consistency each month is going to be...
And that's another reason why he recommended the IVF, because I have that blocked fallopian tube. So he was like, if you're always, we don't know which side you're ovulating on. And if you're always ovulating on that side, no matter what you're doing, if it's blocked, there's not a chance for the sperm to get through.
Which one was it?
Oh, I don't remember. I have to go to our YouTube video to watch because I don't remember, but it's on YouTube.
I could start aiming a certain way.
Jeez. But so needless to say, I think with a blocked fallopian tube, 9 times out of 10, and now it could be scar tissue, of course, but like it also, inflammation affects your body in all sorts of different ways. And things that cause inflammation are like processed foods, lots of sugar, stress, of course, is another thing. And so I thought if I changed my diet and if I work out and try to de-stress, that will help with the inflammation.
Which you've been really good with.
Which I have, but we have been traveling a lot. And I feel like as much as like it's...
But you have been stressed a lot.
Yeah. So it's like, so now what I was getting to is why I'm so thankful for all of you ladies listening and all the girlfriends who are on Instagram. Like, I'm really so thankful for you. And for those of you on YouTube watching, or, if you're listening in your earbuds on the podcast, so thankful for you because so many have reached out and they have given just like their own journeys of like things that have worked. And I really wasn't.
And we are coming at you live with some research on the different direct message fertility tips that you've gotten in your mailbox.
That I have gotten in my mailbox.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
They don't.
I'm like, are you talking to me? Or are you talking to?
They don't reach out to me.
Yeah.
I continue to take Better Health, which was a sponsor of ours.
Yeah, and
for
they
sperm, which kind of.
But apparently, your sperm doesn't. Fertility. It doesn't matter anyways. Right. And I am taking CoQ10.
You do need my sperm, but. Yeah, but
no, I'm saying like the fertility doctor said that your sperm is just fine.
Right.
So that's good to know. That's like one thing off the reasons of why we're not getting pregnant. But so I've been taking CoQ10. I've been taking prenatals. I am going to start taking magnesium, but that's more for stress levels.
Well, I think because
vitamin D, they say, is very important to make sure that you're taking vitamin D.
Yeah, I actually looked up a whole bunch of the ones that
then the things that have been recommended, and I'm just going to list them off in case you're also struggling to conceive. I feel like infertility and secondary infertility, of course, it's not talked about as much. It's talked a little bit more about now than it used to be.
What's secondary infertility?
So infertility is when you haven't had a child and you're not able to conceive a child. Secondary infertility is when you've already had a child, but then all of a sudden you're having struggles.
Difficult. Okay.
And it's like, what the heck? Like, what's going on? Like, you're not infertile because you have had a child, but yet you're going months and months and months and not being able to conceive a child.
But is it still secondary if you've had two children?
Any amount of children after you've had children and you're trying to have children.
They don't count at each child.
Doug, you're being so sarcastic, and I'm
trying to learn. I really am.
I thought you were joking, and I'm like, why are you being so sarcastic when I'm like, this is like a really meaningful topic to me.
Yeah, no, just for anybody that's listening that doesn't know.
But anyways, so the things that have been recommended are MACA root, and I don't know if I'm saying that right, but MACA root. There's like, I can't even tell you. It like makes your brain swirl.
You don't have to.
Well, no,
I have to think.
I can remember.
I wrote them down because I wanted to look up to.
But
see.
But for me, I just wanted to say thank you for sharing. all of these things. I'm really so thankful for it. It's also simultaneously like mind-boggling and overwhelming. But the two things that I really think that I want to do are, well, I'm going to like say a few of the things that have been recommended frequently. So MUCINEX has been one thing that's been recommended. And I'm not exactly sure how to do that. Like, I guess you take it maybe when you're ovulating.
I'm going to explain that one too.
Okay, cool. Castor oil, MACA
root.
acupuncture, chiropractor, MACA root. And then there's this cup. There's this disc. Like, so if you use the disc for either to prevent sperm from going in, like as childbirth or birth control, I meant to say, sorry. If you're using like the disc, to prevent your sperm from coming in, apparently if you have sex and then put the disc in so that the sperm can't come back out, that has been successful in helping people get pregnant. But
sperm only survives 7 days.
Yeah, but that's a long time. Like if they can survive 7 days and that egg can get down there and then they can kind of swim. So anyways, there are different, we're willing to kind of go outside the box a little bit now to try to have our next baby. And Doug so I asked Doug to research them all.
What was the glide stuff that
pre-seed. I do really, I really love pre-seed. We use that with, this is not an ad or anything, but we use that with Henley and Hendricks. And I don't know.
There was another thing that we did too. What was the thing that's supposed to help keep the sac together?
What?
The sac? What sac? What was it? It was, you were taking a supplement.
Progesterone? No.
Yeah, progesterone.
Yeah, but that's like more like after you already get pregnant. So
okay.
Yeah, gotcha. like once you get pregnant, you want to take like for me, I need to take progesterone. At least this is what I do with Hendricks in order to keep the pregnancy.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay. Well, yeah. So I wrote down a bunch, and I think before we get to that, I do want to give a shout out to one of our 5-star reviewers, which is Candace, who writes, "Love them. Jamie and Doug are so real and relatable. They touch on many topics and seem to have something for just about anyone to relate to. They open up and talk about the hard things because they know it can help others fighting similar battles. Thank you for sharing your lives with us. I've been a huge fan since Married at First Sight and love the parents you are now and the body positivity that Jamie shares. What a power couple." Well, thank you, Candace Brinton.
Yeah, that's so sweet.
That's amazing.
Yeah, no, I thank you so much for the 5-star reviews. Honestly, I'm sitting over here. I'm sure you could probably tell from my energy that I'm just like kind of feeling a little defeated, I guess, by it all. But I'm trying to stay positive.
By all the things.
And this is the other thing too, because we were just at a party for a friend's birthday, and a lot of people are like, "Well, why don't you adopt or do foster care?" And I would seriously be open to that. I really would be. But it takes 2 people. And so Doug is just not, and that's not fair to the child. And so anyways, I'm
not saying not ever, but just not now.
Yeah.
I do think that we will be blessed. We're already blessed with.
We really are, and that's the other thing too.
Lucky just to have both of them.
That's another thing too that I put like out on Instagram and just like in general is that I am very thankful, of course, for our 2 children. we are.
It's really weird when people reach out to say you should just be thankful for the 2 you already have, as if we're not.
I know it is an interesting thought. And I think that they come from a place of love.
Maybe.
But it's like.
Maybe they do. I don't know.
But the truth of the matter is like, we're fully aware. Like we got pregnant with our first son and lost our first son, came home to an empty house without our first son. We're fully aware of how blessed we are.
Oh, yeah.
But that doesn't minimize or diminish the yearning or the longing for another. And it doesn't make us love our children, our current children, less. And we talked about this with the Willardsons when they were on, because they have 3 children and they're doing IVF also right now.
Yeah.
And so...
and you know what's wild too is I know we mentioned this before, but our old assistant, Diana and Seth, just to think, they had children young, but... Their daughter is 12 or 11 or 12, and their 11. Son is 8,
9,
and they just they just had another baby
Yeah,
just now.
and it was like their first try.
Yeah.
They literally, maybe the second month trying, she got pregnant. The pregnancy went great. And she's been a little sick postpartum. But aside from that, I mean, everything's been fine.
Yeah, which
and
is pretty amazing.
It's just so interesting how some people can just get pregnant and their bodies can carry it and everything's fine. And it doesn't necessarily mean if they're the most in shape or they eat the healthiest or I mean, Diana did work out and eat very healthy prior to getting pregnant.
Yeah, but like your body reacts to certain ingredients, and inflammation causes a lot of things. And in fact, a lot of the tips that people gave you, a lot of it has to do with reducing inflammation, blood flow.
So let's get to that, because I think that anyone who's listening who might be interested in what they can do to help increase their fertility, like their chances of conceiving naturally. Yes. The first thing is CoQ10.
Well, okay, we can start with CoQ10. So when I was looking up CoQ10, and you said you take CoQ10
I do take that already, because I know that helps with your egg.
Yep. So it is thought to help support healthy egg and sperm production. For example, one study showed that women who received pre-treatment of CoQ10 supplements for 60 days or longer resulted in improved egg health and higher fertilization rates.
So I've been taking it for about 60 days. Now, I have to be honest, when I travel, I do not take my supplements the way that I don't do anything the way that I'm supposed to. Like, I don't wash my face the way that I'm supposed to. I don't
Who does? What parent does?
I don't stick to my routines. And so we have traveled a lot the past 2 months. And so I haven't been taking, so then you get this layer of guilt. Like, I haven't been taking my supplements the way that I should. Like, it hasn't been as religious and like a ritual or whatever. And so
I think when things don't happen, though, you look for excuses. You look for different excuses when
mostly so that you can figure out what you're doing wrong, so that you can change it, so that you can do better. And
I mean, if we were to try every single one of these all at once, I think it would be a little overwhelming and overboard.
Not gonna lie, I kind of want to try every single one of them next month.
But the one thing that I do notice is a lot of these either supplements or things, it all says may increase, may support.
Yeah.
So like even for this, it's could improve ovulation, reduce oxidative stress, lower blood pressure, may improve the success of IVF treatments, or support metabolism and hormone balance. So that's CoQ10. I heard of CoQ10 because my dad started taking it.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like one of those fad things. It's all the rave,
He's a diabetic, and it's supposed to help with insulin level. The next one, and I've always wanted to see a chiropractor, and I know it's not necessarily for me, but for you. But a lot of people have said a chiropractor would help with fertility. So for here, increase in blood flow, which is positive news for conception, as some women struggle with fertility because blocked fallopian tubes. So this is encouraging better blood flow, which can make it easier for a fertilized egg to move through the fallopian tube.
I literally have a blocked fallopian tube, so I'm going to go see a chiropractor. But they say they adjust the pelvis. I don't know,
really?
But they adjust your pelvis. And a few people have reached out to me, and they were like, I went to a chiropractor, and then the next month I got pregnant. A few people have reached out to me and said, I went to acupuncture, and then the next month I got pregnant. I am not even kidding you. A few people have reached out to me and said, I took Mucinex, and then the next month I got pregnant.
It was like chiropractor worked miracles. Those are the messages that I saw. A lot of people
these people are raving over the different ways that they have conceived after having struggles. And so,
I think you can go see a chiropractor specific for fertility.
I mean, the thing that I'm wondering about is do they accept our insurance? And so how expensive does it get to go to do all of these things? Because, we just bought a house.
How much could one crack of the pelvis cost, really?
For real.
I mean, people say they only needed it.
So what is it about MACA root? I see you researched that.
I did. So MACA root is something that I'm very interested in, because just reading off of some of the.
Okay, what does it do?
So first of all, it's a root that can last in very harsh weather, and it's from Peru.
Okay, interesting.
I don't know if that makes a difference, but that means that it's a natural remedy that was used for a long, long time, indigenous people through there. So not only is it used to treat a bunch of different health issues, but it includes fertility and low sex drive. So if
you're oh, Jamie needs that. I don't have the best sex drive, to be very honest, especially trying to conceive. I feel like for just like a moment. Like if anyone else has been trying to conceive for a long time and you have, I mean, with or without children, it's like eventually it not that it feels like a job, but it kind of feels like a job. Like you're like, okay, I got to take these supplements. I got to do this. I got to lift my legs up after having sex. I got to do all these, like, and I got to do it every other day. And it's not like you don't enjoy it, but it really is scheduled. And like we stopped that for a long time because like we needed to for our relationship, for our marriage.
Yeah.
But we're starting that again, like right now, basically. Like I'm like, we're going to start having sex like every other day. It's going to be scheduled. I'm going to start taking this MACA root. I'm going to go to the chiropractor, MUCINEX. I've been taking the CoQ10. I'm going to get better at taking my prenatals and CoQ10 more religiously. I have vitamin D. Like I'm trying like all the things here. But
yes. But, because they also make like maca root with ashwagandha, which is one of my new favorite words.
You said, oh yes, you did just say that.
Yeah, ashwagandha.
Ashwagandha. But, I already take ashwagandha too. I have ashwagandha gummies.
That's what I mean. But it says if you're seeking to enhance fertility, improve physical performance, balance hormones,
maca is the better option?
Is the better option.
Interesting, because I take ashwagandha because they also say that ashwagandha helps with stress. And interesting. Yeah, right? So I should take this maca root.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm going to literally go find out where to buy maca root and add it to my cart.
They made a song about that. Hey, maca root. All right. So the whole MUCINEX thing.
Yeah. So when do you take the MUCINEX?
I want to put a kibosh. I mean, maybe it works for people, but there are no studies and there's no professional clinical scientists or physicians that can point to MUCINEX helping fertility. The only thing I was able to find.
Are women saying that they get pregnant?
So the only thing I was able to find on MUCINEX is that it may help you get pregnant by thinning your cervical mucus.
Which makes sense because then the sperm can swim in there, up in there.
But there is still not enough recent evidence to show that a cough medicine can increase fertility. I mean, it does.
You don't seem to believe in this at all.
I just, when I was looking these things up, MUCINEX, when you type in MUCINEX, it'll autofill for MUCINEX for fertility. So I guess a lot of people have done it. And it really says there's no studies that support it.
Well, they probably have to say that because it's a drug.
Well, obviously, but the only thing that I could find that was positive is that it may help you get pregnant by thinning cervical mucus.
Listen, if it might help, I'm willing to try it.
I mean, is cervical mucus a problem?
I don't know. Like, it seems like everything's the problem. So why not just thin that out too?
I tell you what, it's worth a try. You're going to take MUCINEX to thin that. You're going to take blood thinners to thin your blood.
Well, I'll tell you that the only issue is that if I go full throttle on all these things, which I totally plan on doing it, and I get pregnant, and people say, how'd you get pregnant? I'm like, I don't know. It could have been the MUCINEX. It could have been
maca root.
The maca root. It could have been the chiropractor. It could have been the acupuncture. Yes. I'm not exactly sure. Go try all of the above and maybe you'll get pregnant too.
Oh, God. It's like a Maury Povich thing saying, who's the father?
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Well, so that's really kind of the update for us.
Well, no, I have two more, Jane.
Oh, there's more. Oh, the castor oil. I forgot about the castor oil.
So castor oil is very interesting. So castor oil, which stimulates the circulatory system. So by increasing the circulation, fresh oxygenated blood flows through the abdomen, pelvis, and nourishes reproductive organs. So ovaries, fallopian tubes, your uterus, it helps them properly function, which I had no idea about.
Yeah, well, they say put castor oil in your hair and it helps your hair grow. So I didn't know. A couple people were saying put the castor oil on your belly. And
why is it transdermal?
And well, your skin is the largest organ, so it absorbs anything you put on it.
Yeah, I know, but okay.
Which is why I'm a big fan.
I'm saying you wouldn't put it in you.
Well, that's the confusing part. One time as a nursing student, they say to eat yogurt. This is a true story, by the way. Fun fact that's very silly and wild, actually. But I was a nursing student. I was in a veterans clinic, and it was actually a woman who I guess must have served in the military. She came in and she said, I heard that yogurt was good for, to help keep your like vaginal area healthy. And this is not even a joke. This happened while I was in nursing school. I
know where you're going with this.
And so the NP and I were like, she was there to just, she said, I heard that yogurt was very good to keep you healthy downstairs in your vagina. And she was like, so, I was trying it. And, we're just at this point, and she has her clothes on and everything. And so we're just like getting information, and she's like really fidgety, down there, and really uncomfortable. And she made it clear. And so, as the nurse practitioner is like asking her questions of like, okay, so yeah, you're right. Like yogurt is actually good. It's health. It has great bacteria in it. That's good bacteria for your body. And she said, yeah, so I put it in there. And what she meant was like, she didn't eat it. She like put it in her vagina. She put the yogurt in her vagina because she thought it would help like the homeostasis in her vaginal cavity. And that was a really hard to keep like a
straight face.
Not like a straight face. It's not like I would laugh at her, because I wouldn't, because like I could see how someone, but
could
like
mistake that, yeah.
But yeah, like to make it seem like, yeah, like I don't know. That was a very, I could like that's the kind of stuff that like can't make this stuff up. Like the truth is stranger than fiction sometimes, because she genuinely thought that, and then did that.
She was fidgety and uncomfortable.
Yeah, because she, as you could imagine, you could only imagine what it was like downstairs. And so, needless to say, the castor oil, I'm like, but I could see how someone would think with the yogurt that maybe you put it in there.
Yeah, I would think with oil does go on the skin, but there's also oils that
go inside. Yeah, like they go in your vaginal cavity, like lube is made of oil consistency. So like, it's a good question. Does the castor oil go on your belly, or does it go in your vagina? Like, I'll have to research that more, and stay tuned and I'll let you know.
I just think like, how like milk curdles and yogurt.
It was bad. And you can imagine like the smell. And she was so embarrassed, because at that point she obviously figured it out herself. Yeah. And so she's trying to explain the story like without, it was just, and then even the NP, I mean, she was so gracious and kind, and like, nice, thank goodness it was like all females present. And so it wasn't, but she obviously just needed a good antibiotic to get rid of all that quote unquote good bacteria in her vagina. Because so the last one is acupuncture. And I
don't think I've ever put anything
in your penis
foreign on my penis.
Well, that ski trip we took.
Yeah. That was the worst. I don't know what that had.
Yeah. So there's a ski trip that we took way back when.
Shawnee.
How long were we married? Was that like I think that was a Valentine's Day ski trip?
Yeah. So that was probably the second or third Valentine's Day that we were together.
Probably the second.
Yeah.
Because
we went to Shawnee to go
Shawnee Mountain to go skiing, and we were being intimate, and we didn't have lube or anything.
Jamie asked if we wanted to use lotion, and I said sure.
Yeah, like it was like foreplay, and so sure. And like
as soon as it goes on,
oh my gosh,
it was like
it was
maybe
really
like
bad.
1 second later, I feel an intense burning. Like intense.
So
burning.
Let me like paint the picture. So we're in there, and we had just went skiing, and it was a nice romantic day. And Doug,
I think we had, it was the first night.
Yeah.
We got there.
So we were just setting the mood, and it was just exciting. And we weren't prepared for like this, for like foreplay essentially. And so there was lotion in the bathroom. So I was like, I'll just go into the bathroom and get the lotion that's complimentary or whatever.
You didn't want to have sex.
I didn't want to have sex?
No.
Why didn't I want to have sex?
I think you were tired.
Oh, so I was probably like, let me just.
Yeah, but you said
that's awful. Yeah. But anyways,
so I was like, okay.
So,
hey, do you want lotion? Sure. Before we get to that, all right, I think maybe we should stop here real quick to thank our friends over at Honeylove, who sent over Jamie some shapewear.
Let me tell you, I genuinely love Honey Love. When we were in the studio shooting for that Married at First Sight special, I was wearing the Honey Love briefs that I have because I was wearing like this cute dress, and you just feel so confident in them.
And I did the packing for both of us, and the first thing Jamie said to pack was her Honey Love Queen Brief shapewear.
Yeah, I don't remember what I was doing a million things, and I was like, Doug, can you just pack this, and this, and like, don't forget the Honey Love. The shapewear has compression in the areas that need more support without sacrificing a woman's natural curves.
And you look amazing.
Oh, thank you. So the best part is the flexible boning. I say this every single time because the flexible boning in the side really is amazing. It's what makes it so that it doesn't roll up or bunch like in any sort of way. So it doesn't, like when you pull up the shapewear, they're not going to roll down when you sit. It's not going to bunch because there's that boning in there.
And you got a Honey Love bra too, right?
Yeah, I love the bra too. I have a silhouette bra. It has adjustable straps. I mean, it's super duper comfortable. There's no underwire, but it still gives you that great support.
Good for you. So for you listening right now, I think it's time that you treat yourself, because right now you can save up to 50% off site-wide at honeylove.com/HMCP.
Some of the best bras and shapewear on the market and in my closet. But this offer is available this month only, and inventory is limited, so don't miss out on their best deals of the year. It's up to 50% off site-wide by going to honeylove.com/HMCP.
That's HONEYLOVE.com/HMCP. And after you purchase, they'll usually ask how you heard about Honey Love. If you want to mention Hot Marriage Cool Parents, that'd be awesome, but you definitely don't have to.
But honestly, I love the shapewear. It is so good.
All right, let's get back to it.
Yeah. So I go into the bathroom, I get the lotion.
From the hotel.
Yeah, from the hotel. And it smelled like that cherry Jergens, if you know what I'm talking about. Like, if you ever used that Jergens original scent back in the day, I think it's still around. And it has like this cherry scent. And I was like, oh, it smells like Jergens. And so I I didn't think anything of it. And I used it. And he for a minute it was fine, and then all of a sudden he whipped up. He had his legs up in the sink trying to rinse it off.
Yeah, it was then like I was humping the sink.
It was
sink. It was
It definitely ruined the mood. So don't recommend ever using the hotel's lotion. Just FYI.
But I am a trooper, and I continued on.
Yeah. Nothing will stop this man, let me tell you. But so moving on to acupuncture, because I have had acupuncture previously. I've never been to a chiropractor. I've never done castor oil anything. I've never used MACA root or anything. But I have done acupuncture for depression and anxiety. When I
almost got you acupuncture. When did I get you that gift card for your bags?
Oh, that was in Florida.
But was that for your birthday?
Christmas? I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Either or. I was going in between acupuncture or a gift certificate to get
let me tell you,
bag.
You got the right gift certificate. I would take the designer bag over acupuncture any day, even though the other makes you way healthier.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you had mentioned acupuncture, and I've always been curious about acupuncture just because of the benefits that it had. And I always thought
they say
for someone healthy, someone that had addiction issues, someone that, when you're going through not necessarily withdrawals, but when you're on certain medication like that and you're coming off, it's so uncomfortable. And I always heard that acupuncture is a way to kind of redirect your mind, but also promote healthier skin, promote blood flow, make you feel better, reduce depression, whether it's increasing endorphins. I heard a lot of great things about acupuncture.
Yeah, which I'm I don't really get it, because they're literally just stick needles in you, in different areas, and I'm like, really? Is this a placebo effect? And you think that if you go there and get all these needles stuck in you, that all of a sudden you're going to feel better?
Yeah.
And it's
it's based on ancient pressure points,
Chinese medicine. Yeah.
Studies.
So, I don't know if it's a placebo effect or not, but I'll take it. You researched it. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, because some of the stuff I looked up, I copied the stuff that might be specific for you. So it does say there's evidence that it may help fertility in women with many health conditions, which include polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS,
hypothyroidism, which I have.
Yep, ovulation problems, and studies have shown improvement in fertility with acupuncture.
This is wild to me.
It can improve sperm quality and ovarian function. But again, I want to be transparent. It says, but no conclusive evidence shows that acupuncture can treat infertility or help you conceive. Now, that is a direct contrast to MACA root, which
there's studies proving that it helps.
Not in humans, but in rats.
Interesting.
So in rats that were that had erectile dysfunction.
What? Rats have erectile dysfunction?
Yeah,
what?
It improved the erectile dysfunction and infertility for male rats.
No kidding. Yeah, but I'm not a male.
As I was saying,
and you have no erectile dysfunction.
Yeah, but I know, but it still, I think, deals with the same sort of hormones and down there. So, like, I think it, like, to me, acupuncture and MACA root seemed like the two most, I don't know, my top two if you were going to choose a couple.
Well, I would say chiropractor too, because I have a blocked fallopian tube. And so why wouldn't I do a chiropractor to try to get that? Castor oil, have to research whether it goes in the vaginal canal or just on the belly. I don't want to be that girl that walks in.
You don't want to end up with yogurt in your vagina.
Yeah, no, I definitely don't want to be that girl. But you know what? God bless that girl, because, you know, everybody does something silly in all their, you know, in our lifetimes.
Oh yeah. What was the silly thing you did?
Marry a stranger?
Yeah, that was really silly, actually. I don't know why that doesn't come up as like my most extreme thing that I've done.
I mean, I don't think silly maybe isn't the right word, but I mean, that's pretty wild. I married a stranger, and not everybody can say that. So we all have done some wild things, and some of it works out for us and some of it doesn't, and that's okay.
You know what I was thinking about? Because we were somewhat, I forgot who we were talking to, but it was brought up about my pre-baby bucket list that I had.
Yeah.
And something that when I was going over, I never felt unsafe. Like I never felt in danger doing anything on my pre-baby bucket list. I don't know about you. Like,
I felt so unsafe.
Skydiving, going on a safari, ghost hunt, swimming with the great white shark.
Driving in Shlushlui, Africa.
The thing that...
None of that scared you?
The thing that I look back on that I think was extremely dumb.
What?
And that I think wasn't the smartest, I should say. Wasn't the smartest decision was we were in South Africa.
Yes.
And it was overcast, so it was a little rainy.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
There was a pier of people fishing.
Okay.
And because I saw that there was waves out in there, I go out and want to body surf. And I was out there for a good 45 minutes.
I should have never let you do that.
I was the only person in the ocean at that time.
That was wild. I should have never let you do that. I remember this vividly because we're in, I can't remember what town we were in, but it was before we traveled to this remote area that he really wanted to live with indigenous culture. So there was this place called Shlushlui that I found.
Totally not spelled like that.
No, but Shlushlui, we were going to drive there, which we did. And I feel like that car would have broken down. We would have been like, you know,
that was nuts.
It was so remote.
Dirt roads, like you had no room for error.
It was wild.
5 miles.
I think
it took us 10 minutes to get from the actual road into this remote
it was
village.
So incredibly scary for me, especially when it was dark, because I'm like, if someone wanted to, I mean, we're white, and if someone wanted to rob us, they certainly could have.
In
like
the middle of the woods.
There's no like cell service. There's no lights, nothing. It was just, I mean, they could have like murdered us and just left us there. Still, and no one would even know because it was like so remote.
I felt we were safe.
I did feel safe though, honestly.
There was a gate that we had
Except
to go
I was
through
scared
to
a
get
little bit
into the road part, but looking back, I think that wasn't smart. I had my GoPro.
You going in the water was not smart. And I remember this vividly because we were there. I can't remember the town that it was. Not Cape Town. It was Durham. Durham?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Durham. So we were in Cape Town first. So we went to Durham. And then from Durham, we rented a car and drove on the opposite side in a completely foreign country.
Yes.
to Shlu.
And not
in
only that,
Durham,
but it's a manual stick shift. You're driving on the right hand side.
Doug almost
of the
killed
car,
us.
And you have to shift with your left hand.
Yeah, Doug almost killed us because he
went down the wrong way once.
And I made him pull over, and I just had to breathe because we literally almost died. And so,
and she goes, "Let's pull over and think about it." And I was like, "Why?"
And yeah, he's like, "Oh, we can keep going.
Over.
What do I need to think about?"
Why would we
And I'm like,
sit
"Because
there?
I need to breathe. We almost just died."
Why
Like,
sit there and just dwell on it? But
I just had to like catch my breath. That was really scary. That was a crazy adventure, an absolutely wild adventure.
Yeah.
That I like deserve all the brownie points in the world. Looking back at it,
you set that whole.
I
thing
set
up,
the whole darn thing up.
and
I
that
was like
amazing.
our planner, and
You killed it.
yeah. And I like did all those wild things with him. Like I went ghost hunting, I went skydiving, I went and lived in a remote area and tried, being with indigenous people with you. I went on a safari. Yeah, we did it all. And we have footage of it someplace. We've never shared it.
Yeah, we haven't.
We've never shared it because
I have that whole, we shot that whole thing ourselves. And then we have the whole entire RV trip
that we have yet to share
that we're going to go through. But
eventually one day, maybe when we're like 50 and, all the kids are out of the house and we're like, oh, we're bored. What was it like when we went to Shlu and almost died on the side of the road?
I have GoPro footage that I've never watched from body surfing at that beach.
Well, you watched it that
wasn't-
night. He made me watch all the footage, and I was like, Doug, I am so tired. Can I just go to bed?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he could have been dead. Like
that wasn't smart.
That was really not smart.
Yeah, it was. It was like raining, so there was no one on the beach, but there was nobody swimming.
But I could kind of see you from our hotel room, and so. But there was a moment that I couldn't, and I was worried. But I was like, "What am I supposed to do? Like now go out there and try to find you in this country, like that we don't even know?" I'm like, I'm just gonna stay here, and if he doesn't come back, then I'll figure it out. Yeah. And then you came back, so all is well. Here we are, still alive.
Yeah. Well, and so that brings us up to a big anniversary that's coming up, not just for us, but for the Married at First Sight family.
Yeah, it's a big anniversary.
It is a 10-year anniversary.
Yeah.
For
wild.
The show and for us.
Yeah. It's kind of cool sharing your anniversary with a super successful television show that you happen to marry your husband on. Like it's
for season 1.
Yeah, no, it's actually kind of cool if you think about it.
Yeah.
And I really want to go back and watch it and kind of let Henley Grace and Hendrik see some moments and just see like how they would react because they're old enough now to kind of understand. I mean, Henley knows. She'll go, "Mommy, is that your friend from Married at First Sight?" Like when someone comes up and says, "Jamie, are you Jamie and Doug from Married at First Sight?" So she'll go, "Is that your friend from Married at First Sight?" I'm like, "Yeah, honey, that's my friend from Married at First Sight."
My mom calls me up every time. She said, even because they came down to Florida recently and we went to Disney with them. And the first thing my mom says was, "We were in the airport and someone came up to me and said, 'Are you Doug's mom from Married at First Sight?'" And she tells me that every single time. Anytime somebody comes up to her, she loves it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it really is like a big family, Married at First Sight. I mean, if people, whether they joined us long ago when we were first married or whether they're just joining us now, it's like...
I wish they would get our season on Netflix, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of weird that you can watch like the last couple seasons, but they don't give you all
the seasons.
Yeah.
That would be cool. But it's on Hulu and it's on the Lifetime app. So that's cool. But needless to say,
not to harp on the Married at First Sight thing, but a lot of the newer seasons, I don't remember anybody's family having a role on the TV show.
Well, now they don't really have as much of a role because
there's 5 couples
and they're like hanging out with each other rather than with families. True. So that is a different dynamic, but I do kind of like it because I like getting to know each couple a little bit more.
Yeah.
And
I don't think it's good
for them to see each other.
Yeah. I mean, just based on our season,
if I had seen the other, like if I had seen Jason and Courtney, I would have been like, we're never going to make it.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't know. Like I go back and forth because I think some of the newer seasons, it allows the couples, but more importantly, like the girls and the guys, I find they become cliquey.
It's actually, Doug, you're not wrong about this.
They become cliquey.
That is very true.
And they gossip about the guys do it and the girls do it. But
then like they never stay together and they're all like fighting, but the girls are best friends and the guys are best friends. And they're fighting amongst each other. I mean, that's actually very true.
They have like a little sorority and fraternity afterwards. And we feel that anybody that goes through Married at First Sight, we feel that instantly.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would want to do that, because then you don't have your own journey. Like when people watch our season, people watch our journey. But
you know what?
Like these newer couples, they don't have their own journey, because always something
they're comparing
happens with
themselves,
or somebody's, if let's say Monet and Vaughn on our season, and they're having issues.
Yeah.
You consoling Monet and me consoling Vaughn takes us away from the 6 weeks that we have to either stay married or get a divorce.
And now it's 8 weeks, but
or 8 weeks, whatever it is. But I don't
but the
agree
flip side to that
whole hanging out thing.
The flip side to that is that sometimes they have like great advice for each other, and when you marry a complete stranger, you can't exactly talk to just anybody about it, because it's just such a wild thing. And
think about this though. If like we didn't have anybody to talk to, but we had the experts to talk to. So like it forced us to bring our problems to experts,
and we
not
did,
to chatty people.
Yeah, because I do see how sometimes
you see what I'm saying?
in like seasons past where they'll rely on like their like wife friend, like so there's like a couple wives chatting and one's fighting with the husband, and so then they'll rely on their wife friend, like from the season to give them advice, and it's like, well, they literally just got married and they needed experts to get married. I mean, and no shame in that, because I did the same thing, but it's like, don't go to her for advice, because like she's in the same boat that you are. Just because their relationship is working out right now doesn't mean that she's got everything figured out, you know?
I mean, the experts are still heavily involved. And I mean, the fact that Dr. Pepper is still part of the show is amazing to me.
Yeah, that is cool. She's like the one common denominator that has stayed consistent, which is nice.
I just think, when you look back on some of the more recent seasons, I don't know if that's had an effect on the success of couples after the show.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm excited for this season. I don't know if anyone who is listening, I don't know if you have been watching or not yet, but this season seems like
so far.
Yeah, this season has been great. There is this one couple, Becca and Austin. I think that they're like my favorite. Yeah, but I also really like Lauren and Orion. I mean, I like them all. Lauren though, she is just, I don't know. She just seems like a very wholesome. She just lost her mother.
She is so emotionally mature.
She's very emotionally mature.
So open to the process.
Yeah.
And I feel like she got the short end of the stick.
Well, we don't know that yet. It's so early on.
Yeah, but they had that. Didn't they already have that fight? The Redskin?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, so?
But like, we still don't know how they're going to end up.
Yeah, I'm not talking about how they're going to end up.
Oh.
All right, so cut all that to where I said short end of the stick and then start here. Only because they, when you bring the race part of it into it, I think she deserved more grace.
I absolutely agree. I mean, it seems like there's a level of hypocrisy there because like, so what happens is this woman, Lauren, and her new husband, Orion, he is Native American and she is Black. And he literally in the same exact conversation, he admits to using the N-word.
She asked him in a nice sort of
like they were like
way.
Kind of flirting and like enjoying each other's company, and then they were talking.
Said, "Can I punch you in the arm for my ancestors?"
And so then she did. He's like, "Yes," and so then she did because he used the N-word. Yeah. And then like literally 2 seconds later, redskin is a derogatory term or phrase
towards Native Americans.
And she wasn't familiar with that. And so he essentially said like, have you ever used redskin? And she was like, redskin? No, haha. Like, what is that? And then she goes, oh, I just saw your face. And like, she starts laughing, and he took that to the next level. I mean, did not forgive her, gave her zero grace, said it was absolutely uncalled for.
That was the most furious I've seen anybody get with a little smile on their face. Like,
Yeah.
you could not tell how upset he was or how furious he was, because he's just
smiled.
so put together,
very like
soft
PC.
spoken, peaceful.
Yeah.
And
honestly, he seemed, I would have thought up until that moment, he seemed emotionally mature as well.
I thought so too.
I
He just
thought he
couldn't
was,
let it go.
Yeah, he just could not let it go.
I'm curious to see how that ends up.
And
I wonder
then-
if they could come back together. I don't know.
Quick recap for anyone who's watching Married at First Sight, because this season is really so good. So there's this girl, Emily, and she's like a self-professed party girl, and she has never been in a serious relationship. No joke. I'm not kidding you.
Ever.
She has never been in a serious relationship ever. And she just gets signed up and marries a complete stranger. And I was instantly like, quick to judge, of course. And I was like, this is just never going to work out. Like, how does this girl think that she could never have a relationship and then she can just get married and know how to be in a relationship? And not for nothing though. Like, I mean, she is with experts. So like, if she was going to do it, this would be the way to do it, because then she has experts to help her. But she has been shockingly like, I mean, her bachelorette party, I was like, oh, this girl is just not ready. She was like shots and strippers and all the things. And then she actually
Is a normal person.
yeah, like she's mature, she's calm, she's patient,
I thought she was going to be the wild party girl. But
she is fun loving and like kind of like the life of the party, but like she's not
She's
immature.
put together.
Yeah, she's actually amazing. And so she's like a pleasant surprise to see. And her husband, actually, they're seeming to get along together. So then there's this Bucket and Austin, and they just seem like love at first sight.
Yeah.
Like they're really cute to watch.
I have high hopes for
And
them.
then who are we missing? Oh, who are we missing? There's one other couple that we haven't talked about yet.
The guy, the skinny dude, and the psychiatrist.
Oh, why am
The
I drawing a
Australian
blank?
guy.
Oh, Claire and Cameron.
Yes, Claire and Cameron.
Yes. So I can't.
Cameron looks like he's 12.
He is so sweet though.
But he's so smart. He's a business owner.
Yeah, he owns bikes, like a bike shop essentially, and he loves mountain biking. And then Claire is a psychologist or a therapist of some sort.
He's some sort of therapist.
And she is honestly drop dead beautiful. She is like model.
okay.
I think she is like model beautiful, like just so pretty.
Yeah.
And Cameron is tall and he's handsome, but I think she's definitely a little prettier, you know, like she's just a little more fashionable.
Well, it's like us.
That's sweet. That's sweet. Yeah. Thanks. But anyways, I don't really know what to think about them, to be very honest, because
I don't think she had a good first impression.
I don't know. Like, I don't get, like, there's definitely not instant love. That's for sure. I don't know, like, if they're into each other, like, for real or not, because I mean, they seemed like very,
I got a friend zone vibe.
yeah, like
right?
they kind of kissed and seemed really sweet, and he has an accent because he's from Australia. So like, I'm like, he'll obviously win her over, but
he has nobody here.
yeah, he doesn't have any family.
He has family friends
Yeah.
that he's sort of being around, and that
Yeah, so it's an interesting dynamic for sure. And they did say that if they got married, like if it worked out, they'd get married again in his country with his family. And I'm like, whoa, that's already foreshadowing, like thinking of the future. But anyway, it's the season just started, so if you haven't watched it yet, like definitely.
I think it's on episode 5 or 6 now.
Yeah, it's so this is season 17 of Married at First Sight.
Crazy.
Which is just wild. But yeah, we're pumped to recap it. I would love for you to leave like in the reviews or even on our hot
please
marriage.
Let us know
Like what you want to talk about, who you're curious about.
We've been watching this every episode so far this season. So if you guys are interested in that, we'd love to. Give
I
a little
definitely,
recap.
without a doubt, have to talk about it. I used to love hosting Married at First Sight Unfiltered. And it's just like, honestly, it's such a fun thing to talk about, like something that we've been through.
Yeah.
And so it's just fun to see other people's journeys and to not actually be in the stress of it ourselves anymore, because it's stressful when you marry a complete stranger.
I think it was probably easier for a lot of the cast to speak with you because you did go through it.
Well, I don't know about that, but that's nice of you to say that. But I think that it does, like every single person who's ever been through Married at First Sight or been on Married at First Sight or has been married at first sight, we have this one thing in common that no one else in the world has. And so it is interesting to be able to talk to each other.
Except for every other country that does arranged marriages.
Yeah, except they're not arranged by scientists. Although, I don't know, I was watching Arranged
Family
with
friends,
Sarah.
I don't know.
I was watching Arranged with, that reminds me of Sarah, my sweet friend Sarah, who recently passed. God bless
Are you
her.
talking about the Indian arrangement?
Yeah, it's just called Arranged on on Netflix, and Sarah and I watched that together, and that always makes me think of her now. Wow. And anyways, that was a really good show too. So if you're really into Married at First Sight and you want to kind of binge something similar, Arranged on Netflix.
Or Love is Blind.
Oh yeah, Love is Blind is great too. Yeah. And I haven't binged that in a long time. But Lauren and Cameron from season 1, well, I just love them. They're amazing. But that's about it for us this week. We are going to go full throttle trying to conceive. I'm hoping to have a Christmas blessing. Like, please, Jesus. I'm like envisioning when I go to the gym, I literally envision twins. Because he only wants one more and I would love 2 more. So if I got twins.
I don't know.
That would really work out great for me. I don't know about you.
I'm good with one.
But anyways, thank you so much for being here with us. And sorry I was like in such a funk at the top of this episode. It was just, it's just one of those days, but thanks for being here with us through the good, bad, and the ugly. Like, we really appreciate that. That means an awful lot. And thank you for your 5-star reviews and for commenting and engaging with us over on Hot Marriage Cool Parents as well on our Instagram page. I would love to hear. I'm probably going to put a post out this week for like what you're looking for, like what you want to talk about for Married at First Sight.
That'd be great.
Yeah, because I mean, that's the whole point, is to be able to chat with you more and like in a more meaningful way on the podcast. So we will talk to you soon. Bye.
Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, by the way, we will absolutely be sharing our journey with this trying to conceive.
Yes.
So like
we are going to be putting together some videos, trying these, and we'll see.
Yeah, we're going to be putting some videos together on YouTube with that whole entire journey, because I think that for me, the best thing that you can do in life is share your struggles and share what helps you get through those struggles. And so even if you're in the midst of the storm, share that, because it makes it less isolating for you, but B, you can look back and see how far you've come, and then C, you can help others along the way. And so we're going to share it all, even though it's not always easy to talk about. It's super raw and personal. But it
doesn't always work out, but
it doesn't. I have no idea how it's going to work out. I don't know if we're going to end up with another pregnancy. I just keep saying that we will, because I really want to believe that.
Put out in the universe.
Yes. But anyways, so there's that. Thank you so much for being here with us along this journey. We appreciate you and love you. Bye.